Capital. Currently, the Eagles have possession as we resume the action in quarter number 2. Brown, the lone receiver, left. Throwing is Hurts. Touchdown, Eagles! DeAndre Swift. He has career touchdown number 78, tying him with both Eddie George and Frank Gifford on the all-time list. And the Eagles will extend their lead here just before halftime. Eagles offense staying out there. Of course, Hurts always a threat to run. They'll go for 2. They'll try and throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the 2-point conversion, no good. Well, split the difference, and they're right where they would have been with 2 PATs. They got the 2-point conversion the first time. They failed there.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the first time you go after your first score, that feels like a gamble. The second time when they tried it again, that felt like, what the heck, right? Because, as you said, even if you miss it, you split the difference, and you're right on schedule at 14 points.
The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So we come up. Message received here. No need to wait. We're going to skip halftime and get right back to the action. Here comes the third quarter. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A very tough run, but for a pretty short gain out near the 32. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down.
Now, you and I, partner, we got the plum assignment this week. An unbeaten team against a one-loss team. Really not much separating these two entering play here today.
Not much at all, and I think for both coaches, they've looked at their team and said, guys, you got to know what you're getting into in this one, and you better be ready to go, because you get to answer the big question of the day. Are we as good as we think we are? We're about to find out.
And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. That one good for 37 yards.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that. And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
The call from Nick Sirianni. Let's go for 2 here, he says. Hurts will throw.
And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it. So unable to throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending it?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst, and if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
Throwing to start the drive. Keys into space at the 45. And finally down at the 36-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
They'll run on first down. It's Caldwell, and he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
To throw on second down. Keys over the middle. Amari Cooper. It's complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 18. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
And now time will be called here as Washington has an injured player down on the field. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Eluding the pressure right. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the first down. The 3rd down conversion successful. A gain of 11. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
They'll run with Robinson.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
Brian Robinson Jr. with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Commanders are able to make some inroads here to that deficit.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that cuts this lead down to 13.
Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. On the return is Cooper from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here are the Eagles to take over. They've got the lead right now, and remember, they are riding that very impressive 7-game winning streak, trying to push it to 8. Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 22.
On the ground, it's Swift to start the drive. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
Now this throw caught left side. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Commanders are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter. But not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having to work.
And he's going to lose yardage here, as they will switch ends as time is run out on this third quarter of play. So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we played 3 quarters. Back now at FedEx Field. It's the Commanders in possession of the football, but they trail as we start this fourth quarter. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Just a disaster of a series here. 3rd and long, no one open anywhere. This ball just has to be thrown to the sideline.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go for it. Here's Hayner. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Touchdown! A.J. Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. He's got them out now to a 3-score lead here in the fourth quarter after that one, CD. And well, he looked right off the line like he knew that that ball was coming his way, and he secured it for 6 points.
Yeah, and I think when you're leading by a healthy margin already, it actually loosens you up and allows you to take maybe a few more chances and definitely play with more confidence, because he certainly saw something he could exploit in the defense, and he made sure to let his quarterback know, just get it to me. And the rest was all up to him, and he delivered and made it a 3-score game.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. So out comes Washington's offense to take over. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big fourth quarter hole. Throwing on first down. Keys. Man open is Robinson. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
Now a 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Keys. And his throw is incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Forced out to his left. And he gets this to the 48, but no further. Well short of the line to gain. Now, whistles and a stoppage here. Looks like one of the Eagles is in some discomfort out there. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's going to be batted down. It will go the other way with a football. Washington goes for it, but it does not pan out. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. 48 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Once again, it's Swift. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 2. Swift going to try up the middle. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Touchdown, Eagles! A.J. Brown with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Eagles are poised to move to 8-0 as they extend their lead even further. And you wonder now if he might be able to remove the helmet, put on the baseball cap, and watch the rest of this one from the sideline. His 5th touchdown pass of the game.
Say that again. Did you say 5th touchdown pass of the game?
Yes, sir.
Boy, that's a heck of a performance, isn't it? Because they've had no answer for him at all game long. Receivers have been open constantly, and he hasn't missed a single one of them.
Eagles offense staying out there. Of course, Hurts always a threat to run. They'll go for 2. They'll look to throw. And it's intercepted at the goal line.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you got a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. And the Washington offense heading out. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this one, though probably not one that they want to chew on. A poor performance from start to finish. Well, the drive starts with a completion left side. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards there on the catch and run.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there, it's going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Let's go.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on 1st down. Operating from the gun. Keys. Eagle pressure. Too much this time. Down he goes. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. The medical staff will attend to him, and we will step aside. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Off play action. Keys. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback and even a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And they have
possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the fourth. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about, we're going to address this come practice next week, because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help him improve.
To the 36-yard line, stop there.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So third down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. They go play action with Hurts. That is caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, this has been another impressive display by this undefeated team, Charles, and it looks like they're going to stay that way after this one.
Yeah, one of the league's best offenses. They stayed on brand in this contest because they continue to look good at what they do. Just added a late touchdown. Now they're really hammering home just how good they've been all year long, letting the rest of the league take notice.
I think this is just going to be a function of the times we live in now. Very similar to the bat flip in baseball. Everyone's got to start to get comfortable with this. But to me, this is just rubbing it in. You got a big lead. Go ahead and take the extra point. One thing to keep in mind, though, karma's still out there, and sometimes it has a way of catching up with you.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests. But in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
Dancing to his left. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired, while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
Well, a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on third down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
This is taken at the 23. It's a 47-yard punt, but they did give up 10 on the return.
And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pull it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
They'll roll him out right. His throw incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
Now it looks like he'll throw here.
And Hurts is intercepted, his 3rd of the game. Picked off by Emmanuel.
And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. Now they get a 4th quarter pick, a little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack.
Hassan Reddick, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Well, the lopsided affair finally coming to an end, and really no shortage of big plays for us to examine, partner, on offense or on defense for this team. They were so well-rounded in this one.
They certainly were, and how about the day those defenders had, though? How many takeaways did they have? I quit counting after a while. They were clearly the better team, and their defensive effort, it led the way.